500 trillion Zimbabwean dollars towards the goal with $5 says, I think people who befriended Nick are seeing he's not a fun guy. He's got a severe problem. Sorry if I missed it. But do you know what bad news he got yesterday? I'm bad at this. I know multiple bad newses. I don't know if he got them. I don't know what, if you're wondering, he had to abandon his stream yesterday. He was panicking. He was not in a good way. And he said he got some bad news. He lied about, maybe he lied about it. He said it was about a family thing. I don't know if that's true, but, yeah, there's, it could be a litany of things. I heard some, I heard some bad news things yesterday. And I'm not doing that thing before this ends up on the farms and YouTube and people are like, hey, slow leak. No, I really shouldn't say anything until I know more. There's bad news out there for him. But I don't know specifically what his bad news was. No. And by the way, like Karl and guys like that, they're not realizing that he's not a fun guy. They're not ditching him because they hate me too much. They'll see that. Karl's like, on Alex Jones, Karl lied, and he's like, I don't do wins and losses. That's an Aaron thing. No, you guys started that, and then another win for the toe started, and I started winning by doing nothing. So Karl had to be a phony about that, even though in the next breath he goes, well, when you call a woman a stupid bitch like Nick did, you kind of lose. So it didn't take long for Karl to talk himself into a corner, but they won't abandon him because they've backed themselves into a corner with me so bad that they're going to see it as this giant L if they cast him aside, even though it would make them look better. And I have to say, that pleases me. But no, I don't know what bad news he got yesterday. Same thing. People were asking me about the body cam footage. What do I know? I don't know anything more than you do, but I do have a perspective on this as someone who's worked for and lived for 7 years in a county right next to Candy, Ohio that's very similar called Meeker County. So if you didn't see yesterday, Candy, Ohio County, Josh Moon from Kiwi Farms has gotten judges to sign off on demanding that the sheriff release the body cam footage, and the sheriff is fighting it. Now the prosecutor and Nick's legal team are fighting it. They're saying, no, we can't release it. And Josh is saying, come on, motherfucker. Not only do I have an order for you guys to release it, but also people have already seen it. People have gone to Candy, Ohio County. They have seen the video and they have transcripts, written transcripts from the body cam video. This is stuff that Josh Moon already has these transcripts in his possession. So he's saying release the body cam footage. So now the county has gone to a judge and they're filing a motion. They're saying, no, we cannot release it. It was never admitted as evidence. We can't, but it is on the record. They're trying to strike it from the record so that Josh can't get it. So Josh has made his argument. The county is making their argument. A judge will probably end up deciding this. What's interesting is Nick is fighting it, and Nick's position, he's always been adamant that all body cam footage in cases should come out because he's a libertarian and it's, my liberties. But I'm not going to give him as much shit as other people are. Like, look, it's going to make him look horrible. I mean, I know what that house looked like when I left. It only got worse after I left because I was the only reasonable one not hooked on drugs. So it got worse. It looks like hell on earth. So he doesn't want people to see that. Now, you might say, well, then, Aaron, why would the county go to bat for him? They're not going to bat for him. I lived in Meeker County for 7 years, and there would be cases they would have there where they fought like hell to not release specifics about the investigation, about interviews, about dash cams, body cams, to the point where, like, Fox 9 would come out to Meeker County to say, hey, why can't we see this stuff? These small counties do not want to be statewide, nationally, internationally, or online famous for embarrassing shit. The county is fighting the release of this body cam footage because they know how bad it looks, and they don't want the entire internet to be looking at it. They know how big this is. They don't want Candy, Ohio County to be seen as junkie central, junkie shit pit, child abusing, stinky kid central. They don't want to be known that way. It's going to, These are communities. These are counties of 20,000 people and less. These are communities, and they don't want themselves embarrassed like that. So it does not surprise me that they are fighting it. Whether or not they can stop it from being released, they may be shooting a BB gun at a freight train at this point. Kyler says, but Candy, Ojai County is exactly that. Right, but they don't want it to be out like that. Yeah, Wilmer is a junkie county. Meeker County is called Tweaker County because of all the meth, but they don't want to propagate that throughout the entire internet. One thing about Candy, Ojai County, I can confirm from talking with people, they're embarrassed by him. They're humiliated by him. They're pissed. They're annoyed. They want to move on from this as quickly as possible. And that body cam footage is not going to help them move on from it. You know? So I wasn't surprised. That I didn't expect them to just release the body cam footage without a fight. I just don't know if the fight's going to work out. Plus, not only that, Josh already has some stuff from it. Buzamok says, Nick said Minnesota has tight laws against releasing police vids. Is that not right? Would that not be why they're fighting it and not to help Nick? No. Again, I want to be very clear about this because people think they're not doing it to help Nick. They're doing it because it's humiliating and they'd like to move on. I actually empathize with Candy, Ojai County. I get why they're doing it. I understand. Like I said, I lived in a county like this for 7 years. And they tried to hide and cover up and bury a lot of shit. Not because they're dirty or they're corrupt or anything like that, but because it's a small town. It's Cheers. Everybody knows your name. And they don't want to embarrass themselves in front of the entire internet. They're aware of what this is. Minnesota does have tight laws, but one of the loopholes around that law is that if the release of the body cam footage will put to rest rumor and false accusations, where Nick may have himself and where one judge has already signed off on releasing this body cam footage, is that he's made a lot of claims publicly that are kind of indictments towards law enforcement and CPS that the body cam will dispel. That could have kind of him. So it's not the tough laws Minnesota has on cams. No, the laws that Minnesota has on body cams is what Candy, Ojai County is arguing as their case to not release it. The reason they're fighting it is because, of course, it's embarrassing, it's humiliating. They don't want it out there. They're too embarrassed to show the Baldo style. Yeah, the one, before people think that, the county is on Nick's side. No, Nick, I'll agree with Nick on this. The county is not on Nick's side. But the county wants it not released for the same reason he doesn't want it released. It's f***ing embarrassing. Like, it's not just embarrassing for Nick. It makes Candy, Ojai County look like shit. Like, I mean, think about it. The entire internet sees it. And Candy, Ojai County is sending the message, wow, if even our well-to-do citizens living in $750,000 houses live like drug addict pigs and animals, then what do you think the rest of the people in this county live like? They don't want it out there. And again, who couldn't understand that? I'm not mad at them for that. But yeah, Josh does have transcripts. And people are like, he has transcripts anyway. Come on, be honest. Transcripts don't hit as hard as video. In Jersh we trust. Yeah, it's going to be a legal fight. And that's what Josh said. He said we're either getting it in 2 weeks, which is 1 week from today, or there's going to be a legal fight. And I think it's going to be a legal fight. People have seen it already. Hey, Buzamok, do you have these? Like, do you keep them? If you keep them, could you do me a favor and send what you have so far? I want to make a new intro at some point. Not now. Monograph worked really hard on our song, so our intro song triggered the shit out of Karl. It's so mean. It's got April. Monograph made it, and Monograph is suing your buddy into oblivion, so I wanted to honor Monograph for the gift he gave us. I just love watching Karl cry and piss and moan, so offended, so sensitive. The guy whose whole show is about mocking people, he's like, intro song is mean. He's such a mean guy. Gives me a limp. That's your club foot. That's not me. Don't blame me for shit. Chad Buzamok says, hey, did Aaron ever say how his radio meeting went a week or days ago. Last Tuesday was the meeting. And yeah, we talked about it on the show quite a bit. The next step is convincing. So the people I met with, the management I met with, they're like, we're good. We've got this. We've got to go before the board. We've got some people on the board who, can you believe this? People on the board think that maybe I'm a bit of a risk, and they think I might be too much of a shock jock. And they're the last people we've got to win over. So it went very, very well. Without divulging too much information, it went very well. Things are still back on track the way they were before all the madness went down. And I'm feeling very good about the way things are going. So, yes, I don't want to gloat about it because then, Pool Scam Sam's going to feel bad and all that shit. And we're good right now. So, no, it went really well. I'm really excited. I'm anticipating probably at least another 2-3 meetings before the whole thing's done. But yeah, we talked about it on last Wednesday morning. So go check that out if you'd like to see it. Oh, by the way, the Aaron Hugbox show for tonight, you can tell that the L's have really been piling up and they're scraping the bottom of the barrel for content. They're like, we're going to go through Aaron's Kiwi Farms history. Bro, I've got Kiwi Farms up on my phone right now. I have a Google Chrome with 3 tabs. Kiwi Farms, Twitter, and sports scores. That is anytime I open up Google Chrome to do anything, those are the 3 tabs that pop up right away. I love the farms. I've never kept that a secret. I mean, you want Schadenfreude? The farms is Schadenfreude, my friend. So I think them just kind of doing something that's very obvious to everyone, I think it kind of shows that the toe finally got them. They front-loaded. That was their biggest problem. They went, we're going to do this, and it's going to crush him. And we all giggled at them and went, ha. Then Kiki crushed them, and they're like, we really don't have anything else. It's almost like the people on Kiwi Farm say, Aaron's really too boring. And I like that. Yes, Pool Scam Sam, a show can still stink. It only draws viewers because of me. I'm the big draw. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Yes, you're right. I am very interesting. The guy who hosts the show, he gets 30 live viewers when it's not about me. I am fascinating. I can't help it. Thank you for the compliment. And I also watched the Alex Stein clip. Boy, I really made Karl sensitive. Holy shit. I love how Karl has to bend himself into a pretzel to justify doing a show about me while he sits next to a guy whose 8-year-old got high on cocaine and he's lied, broken laws, and embarrassed himself the entire time. Literally the new Stuttering John. And Karl's like, Aaron's theme song is mean to April. Like you give a... The guy you sit next to abused her psychologically, admitted to it, said I got her hooked on all these drugs. Aaron's a meanie head. Karl really came off like a total bitch boy. In fact, in the clip I was watching of it, that was the total verdict. Everyone was just like, oh God, what a bitch. They were saying, get the broom out. But you know me, I like a little Schadenfreude, so I enjoyed it.